Hey everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and today I wanted to go ahead and close out the first quarter and show you how I did that in Planner Prime, or which is now Baby. And then also go ahead and show you how I closed out the first quarter in my Power Sheets and show you how I have set up the second quarter for April, May, and June. So we'll just go ahead and dive in. I'm going to go through my Power Sheets first, just so you guys can kind of see where I'm at and how things went. All in all, I am pretty happy with how the first quarter went. Some things did not get done, and I'm okay with that. This is a journey, and what I am happy most with is the fact that I actually did it. So I want to go ahead and show you, these are my yearly goals. Take better care of my body, plan for retirement, incorporate more creativity in my life, make our house a home, create more fun and enjoyment this year, prioritize my mental health, use what I have, spend less, and work on my brand. And those are staying the same. I thought that I might adjust them, but I did not. And again, just so you have a reminder, my word of the year is adaptability. And I am adapting. So in March, I tried to go back to basics, but basically what ended up happening is I was sick for almost the entire month. But the important to-dos, getting my neck ablation redone, having my yearly bariatric appointment, and having a couples massage, those got done, but they also had to be adjusted. So I ended up rescheduling my ablation and my bariatric appointment, but we did actually end up going to have a couples massage. The things I'm excited for were the spring plant sale, St. Patrick's Day in Ostara, my yearly bariatric appointment, my neck ablation, hopefully ordering my new bike, which I did, an adventure date to Bricks with Greg, that got put off as well. What was on my mind is I am not following my own advice and letting my nutrition, bedtime, and water habits fall by the wayside because I'm struggling mentally. And that, I can tell you now, did not get much better through the month of March. What I was hopeful for was I can find a medium or a median routine that works on all aspects this month, being more mindful about my body and my needs and getting back to basics. So going through the tending list, figuring out this year's garden plan was done. What are we doing with the front yard? I kind of got that figured out as well. We have not gotten anybody to come in and snake the pipe yet. I also have not found the replacement hardware for our flagpole yet, but it's just me having to go down to the flag store. We actually have a big American flag store here in Salt Lake, and I just want to go down there and pick it out instead of me guessing that I'm ordering the right thing. So I will take off what's on there and take it down to the flag store and see if they have replacements. My Ostara research was done. I am working on bath tea recipes. That was put out till the next month. I did decide that we are going to go ahead and get some professional carpet cleaning done on the main floor because we are probably going to put off getting new flooring for right now, just because we have some other things that we want to take care of. And clearing the sunroom for spring, mileage goal for this month. Yeah, that didn't happen. My weekly action items were add a weekly recovery day, letting my body rest. I did do that. A lot more than I thought. Self-care every week, weekly goals met. Kind of halfway. Do something fun just because, kind of halfway. Morning pages, no. Update my planner on Sundays. weekly, and that kind of happened. I didn't really follow these. Again, I was sick, and when I am sick, a lot of my habits go out the window. So how March ended up was the people that I'm grateful for and why: Greg for keeping me sane and taking care of me while we were both sick. I did get my bike. The good things that happened this month. We got the basement cleared out and the new TV put in. What I am reading and listening to, I'm reading Greenlight by Matthew McConaughey and listening to the Poison Punch podcast. Goals that are going well. Number 6, prioritizing my mental health. 7, using what I have. And number 1, taking better care of my body. I'm choosing grace over guilt about not getting my mileage goals done this month. Favorite memories from this month we're watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies in a timeline order. We are currently, as of right now, as of this week, we just finished Avengers Civil War. And so I think next is Black Panther. And my free of stress week, I had a week that I got to be on my own and from work, and it was very nice. And just kind of taking a break from all of the stressors that work has been giving me. And so that was a good thing. Discovering my need to balance a lot more, and the new TV arrangement. With the new bigger television downstairs and the old television moved up. Movie nights are back, and we are loving those. I am saying no to stress, anxiety, and guilt, and I'm saying yes to balance. So going through that, I'm going to pause my Cultivate What Matters for a minute and go into this is my Soumkine planner, and I wanted to kind of show you how, so this is January's breakdown, February's breakdown. Obviously, I did not get a lot put in as far as February goes. This is March's breakdown in my March in review. And then I did a first quarter review. So this is part of why I love this planner, because I can use these back pages, all of these back pages here, to do my reviews of each month and then see where I'm at. And that worked out really well. So first quarter review, looking back over the first quarter of 2021, the year is definitely not progressing the way I'd hoped, but it's not been awful either. I had hoped that it would be much better by now, but the reality is it's still the pandemic, and we're only starting to see a beginning to the hopeful end, but I think there's at least another surge before we're done. Greg and I, as of this week, are fully vaccinated. We got our second shot on Tuesday, the 6th of April, and today is the 9th, and we didn't really have any negative effects for the second shot. Just a sore arm, and that was pretty much it. And so 2 weeks from this past Tuesday, we will be fully immunized or vaccinated, I guess, and protected. So I'm looking forward to that. Books I still have to work on: The No Nonsense Year, Green Lights, and the Beltane book that I've got. To-dos that did not get done. I went back through my January, February, and March lists. And so I still need to add to my 101 goals in 1001 days. I need to learn to use my Cricut. I still need to work on my retirement planning. This actually got pushed forward because my nephew, who is a financial planner for retirees, is not coming into town until later on in the year. So that got moved. I'm still working on the refresh for all my channels. I do want to still collect bids for flooring. I want to go through and replace all of the actual toilets in our house. We have 3 different bathrooms, 1 on each level. And I want to go through and replace all of those with water conserving toilets. I've requested a plastic surgery evaluation to have my panis renewed, my paniculus, my pontoons, whatever you want to call them, to get an evaluation done to see which type of surgery would benefit me more. And right now I'm thinking it's the fleur-de-lis tummy tuck. And I want to have the evaluation done so I can kind of get an estimate for what that entails for me and my body. And then also, once I have that, start looking into U.S. costs versus Mexico costs or other country costs, because I already know it's probably not going to be covered by my insurance. And so it's something that we will be paying out of pocket for. So I want to determine the best care plan for myself. I want to have more adventure dates monthly. Again, professional carpet cleaning done. We want to get the mold area that we found when we moved bookshelves downstairs for the new television. We cleaned it all with borax and everything, but we want to get a kit to test to see if we got it all. Then I'm working on planting this year's garden and then setting up our Hulu gift certificate that we got when we purchased the new television. The big things that got done in quarter one, I did set up a training plan. I hit streak day number 316 in my running. That was February 28th, and March 1st I got sick. That stopped my streak. But that's okay. I got to day number 316, and that's amazing. The inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. My mammogram came back with no issues whatsoever. My taxes are done. I got the new bike. I got my first service on my Tiguan. My annual blood work was great. We got our first dose of the COVID vaccine. I ran my 10K every month of the quarter. The trees are gone. We seriously loved WandaVision, even though it started out really slow and we weren't sure about it. But by the end of the series, we loved it. And so we're halfway through Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And so far, we are loving these Marvel mini series that are on Disney+. My Supernatural A5 Traveler's Notebook, which I affectionately call Baby, came in. And I have ordered another Lady Falcon Traveler's Notebook, and I'm excited about that. And, not ordered, but my other Lady Traveler's TN came in, and I've also ordered a couple of speckled fawns that are coming in. So what I'm going to be working on in the second quarter of the year are bedtimes, making sure that I keep to a consistent bedtime and wake up time. I need to go through all of my clothing and do some purging, removing the piles that are here in the sunroom and various rooms in the house. Just working at that a little bit every day, working on my TRX, working on my bike, doing more running, being more productive on my breaks and actually taking breaks, reading more, having less guilt, making healthier choices, again, having my panis removal process started, making a new apron dress, which is a Viking costume kind of dress that Viking women wore. It's what I do in my medieval reenacting. Working on my garden, clearing the front yard of pine needles. That's the next step. Our green bin has been full for the winter. And so as of next Tuesday, we can start having the green bins picked up again. And so once that's emptied, then we'll start work on our front yard and clearing out the mass of pine needles that were left once the trees were removed. It's going to be quite the process to get the ground ready to have any sort of grass or sod put in, because pine needles can poison the ground. And so We want to clear all of that out, even if it means that we have a dirt yard, for the summer. I'm fine with that. But trying to get the yard back to a point where we could get some sod installed. We also need to work on getting the 2 stumps removed. So before we do anything with sod or grass, we will have those moved or taken out. And then the yard leveled off. Holding Tyr therapy. Tyr does not like to be held. He loves to be petted, and he will come and sit on my lap for hours. But for someone to actively pick him up, he hates it. He doesn't get violent, but you can tell he does not like it, and he will not cuddle you. He will put his hand or his paws out and just be like, no. So he kind of does that toddler, planking kind of thing where he does not want to be picked up. And we have his first vet appointment scheduled for April 27th. And yes, I know he's 3 years old and we have not taken him into the vet, but he's also not an outside cat. And part of the issue has been that he has been very antisocial. So we feel like he's now to a point where he would not literally attack the vet tech. So we're like, okay, all right, I think it's time. And so we are having, Greg and I both are actively picking him up, even when he hates it, and loving on him for a few minutes, just so he has some sort of a routine for being picked up. So holding Tyr therapy. I have to schedule a colposcopy. I had my pap done and my mammogram done and all of that, but I do need to go ahead and have a colposcopy done. I want to try more new recipes. I also want to finish Supernatural. We have 4 episodes left, and season 15, episode 18 is an episode that I know something is coming. And due to spoilers, I already know what it is, but I also know that I have actively put that off as long as I can. But I want to finish that so that we can actually start watching Babylon 5, which is a series that I have never seen. And most of my geek friends are like, are you kidding me? But I was a Star Trek geek, not a Bab 5 geek, so cut me some slack. So that's what the first quarter in review looks like. And then I have April set up, so I'm kind of just doing that. But jumping into April, this kind of talks about your the life evaluation check-in. And so I went through that exercise, and the prep work refresh, what I'm saying yes to this quarter is balance, recovery days, grace and embrace, outside time, me time and adventure, reading time, deep breaths, getting back to my routine, to love, to cuddling more and relaxing more. What I'm trying to say no to this quarter is carbs. I'm trying to reduce my carb print, not my carbon print, but my carb print. Saying no to guilt, saying no to stress, anxiety, worry, saying no to red in my ledger. If those of you who are Marvel fans know the Black Widow and Hawkeye, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Pushing too hard, late nights, regrets at the end of a day, procrastination, and aimless time sinks. That's what I'm trying to say no to. Keep moving forward. What goal do you feel stuck on? Making our house a home. What's holding you back from moving forward? Procrastination and time sinks. I need to actually do something with it. I need to actively do something with it. What would have to change for you to move forward on this goal? I need to do something daily, weekly that moves this goal forward. And what might happen if you did move forward? What might happen if you didn't? If I did, the house would be cleaner and less cluttered, helping us both. If I don't, we're back to staying in a rut and not getting things done. So instead of writing out my goals again, I just have this list and I just clipped it there. So going through my the 8 yearly goals. Number 1, taking better care of my body. What I'm going to work on this quarter is work on future medical appointments, scheduling my colposcopy, scheduling my pannus removal evaluation, and checking on pricing inside and outside of the United States. Planning for retirement. Mostly I had put everything around working with AJ, my nephew, on, readjusting our finances and my savings and all of that. But part of my retirement is that I want to open my own coffee shop. Most of you know that. And so I need to start looking at barista training. And I don't necessarily want a part-time job, but I also realize that may be the one route that I need to take just so I can get experience within a working coffee shop. I would prefer to do mom and pops versus like a chain like Dutch Brothers or Starbucks. So I'm going to look into some weekend barista positions. A local shop that's got multiple shops here, Beans and Brews, just actually opened up down the street, so I could literally walk to it. And it's opened in a grocery store, but I don't know. I still kind of want to focus on the privately owned mom and pop kind of coffee shops. And I've got a couple of those lined up that I want to go to and see if there's any opportunities there. Working on current investments, and even before I work with AJ, because I have the ability to sign into all of my investments and change whatever ratios I want to do, and then set up time with AJ. My 3rd yearly goal is incorporate more creativity in my life. I want to start working on my apron dress and underdress. SCA events, which is my medieval reenactment group, are starting back up in a very limited capacity as of June 1st. And so I need to go through and make sure my garb, which is costuming, fits, but I also want to do some new things as well. So I need to figure out which linen that I'm going to start using, cut out a pattern from a friend who has done some alternatives for heavier busted women, and I really like the look of her patterns. Decide if I want to do some fabric stamping or if I want to do actual woven trim, then research some decorative stitching. The yearly goal, make our house a home. I want to finish my sunroom and work on my garden. So these two are kind of coinciding because my sunroom opens up into the garden, so it's kind of both. And a lot of the stuff that I have in my sunroom is pre-staging for my garden, so yeah. But I need to frame some prints that I have and hang them up. I need to remove the bins that I actively have going right now, sort some of the piles, sort shelving, declutter, and then prep the garden boxes and pots, which the pots have actually already been done. I did those yesterday. Yearly goal, create more fun and enjoyment this year. Make plans to see Kelly, my best friend. She currently resides in Texas, and she is probably going to be spending some time back in New Orleans as well. But I need to figure out some available time frames that I could go and see her, whether it's in Texas or New Orleans. Check on flight options or if I'm going to drive. Kind of right now, getting on a plane terrifies me, but I also know that they are taking as many precautions as possible. And now that I have my second vaccine, I feel a little bit better about that. So we will see. Sorry, I had to get a drink of coffee. Again, deciding if she's going to come here, if I'm going to go to Texas, or if I'm going to go to New Orleans, or we both go to New Orleans. I need to determine the length of the trip and then just do it. And I think this will go a long way in both hers and my mental health. Just being able to have some fun and spend some time together. that's not on Zoom. Yearly goal number 6, prioritize my mental health. I have had on here doing some Amy adventures. And now that I have my new bike, I want to get out of the house more. I want to do some hiking, and I want to find some new races. I also want to venture out and find some new gravel trails for my bike. So I think on Sunday we have a couple of different paved bike paths that are pretty flat. And I think for my first long ride, I want to do one of those. And so I'm kind of looking forward to Sunday to see how I feel. I don't know how long I'll get one done, but we'll go from there. I want to at least get, probably 5 miles done. I may get longer. I don't know. But that will be my first big long ride. Number 7, use what I have, spend less. I am considering a stationary no spend month in May and working through what I have for the rest of the year. Only one trip to my little shop in a month. I have usually kept it to 2 trips, and it's usually every other week, but I'm also considering dropping that down to 1. I need to clean out our freezer and use what's in the pantry and finish my ephemera sorting. And yearly goal, my brand, bigger, better, and more badass. I need to rework my website this quarter. I want to update the theme, update the blurb, look at the analytics and evaluate how to improve, and then be more me and less afraid of what people think. I also want to work on blogging more often. That was something that I had stated at the beginning of the year, and it's kind of fallen by the wayside just because so many things have. But I know it's something that I want to continue doing, and I love blogging, but I also have to be in the right frame of mind for it, or I have to be prompted to do it as far as something clicks a trigger in my brain and goes, I want to write about that. And so that's kind of where that is. So for April, important to-dos is get my garden prep for the plants that arrive in May. I ordered all of my plants on the 25th of March, and they'll come in on May 8th. I go pick them up on May 8th. And then it takes 4 or 5 days to harden them, so that because they've been grown in a greenhouse. And so they have a schedule for you to harden the plants. So it usually takes 3 to 5 days to get that done, so that they're used to being outside 24/7. So I will get everything prepped for that. Then clear out the front yard, finish the bins in the sunroom, and then getting the swamp cooler ready for warmer temperatures now versus when it's so hot that I am forced to get up on the roof and it's blistering hot up there. The shingles get very, very, very hot. And so if I could do it now while we're still in cooler temperatures, then that would be ideal. I'm excited for my new bike being built, which it already is. We did that last Sunday, making plans with Kelly, getting fully vaccinated, which I have the second dose. I just have to wait the 2 weeks to be fully vaccinated, and then starting to plan activities. What's on my mind? Going back to the office in July, part-time. They're looking at a 3 in the office and 2 work-at-home days for the week. Not putting all my balls back in the air. I have realized that everything that I was juggling pre-pandemic was too much. And I do not want to get back to that. I have enjoyed the more relaxed Amy. So I think that's part of what's on my mind is I don't want to get back to being overly stressed and overtaxed. So taking more time for myself and then getting the boys caught up on all their shots. So that's everything that's on my mind right now. Not everything, but the ones that I wrote down. And I'm hopeful that the second vaccine doesn't kick our butt. It did not. My fatigue will go away. It seems to have finally subsided, and I'm working my way back up to running. So we will see how that goes. I can get back to a regular run schedule, and my ablation goes as planned at the end of this month. So this is what's on my list right now. We did the bike build on Sunday the 4th. I got my second COVID shot there, along with Greg. I pick up my half marathon packet here. And so between here and the 25th is when I will run or run, walk, and roll, a combination of all three. The half marathon, that was a surprise to me. My neck ablation is on the 26th of April. And then the cats go into the vet for their annual checkup and shots on the 27th. And I am off that day for recovery from the neck ablation. So it all kind of worked out really well. And that is so far everything that I have planned for April. And then here's my tending list. My encouraging words are choose better. So choosing to be better, do better, try to be better than I was yesterday, last week, last month, last year, whatever that better looks like. And my priority is still rest and recovery. My monthly action items are clearing out the garden boxes and prepping for planting. I've done the pots already, so that's why that progress is already there. Build the 2 garden boxes and fill them up. Build the composter and set it up for the plants. I have one of those rolling barrel composters. I just haven't built it yet. Begin the great clothing purge so that I can kind of determine. I figured since I'm going to be looking at all the clothes that I've got and determining what works and what doesn't work for me going back to the office, it's a good time to just kind of purge everything that doesn't fit or that I don't like and start fresh. Start new garb for events. That's the apron dress. Schedule my colposcopy via my chart. Visit Honeysuckle Coffee and Athena Coffee and check on barista info and seeing if they have any kind of like part-time position or if I could work for free just to learn for some limited hours. I'd be willing to do that as well, just because the knowledge is more important to me than the pay. So if I could just do something like on a Saturday and Sunday, just like a few hours each weekend, then that would be wonderful experience for me. Figure out my Kelly visit, do an Amy adventure, and finish ephemera sorting. So those are what I have set up for the month. For the week is our weekly movie night, which is usually on Wednesday. Make dinner 3 times a week or more. Finish all the laundry by Friday. I have one more load today and it'll be done. And ride my bike weekly. And first week was when I got the bike built, I had to do kind of a burn in on my brakes. And so, it was half an hour ride, but it was going up and down the particular stretch of road and burning in my brakes. So it wasn't a great ride, but it was a ride. And so I'm counting that. My Finding 52 weekly hour and getting that done. And taking time to work on a longer term project to keep it moving forward. And then my daily action items are 5-minute declutter, doing either the bike or TRX in addition to my run. 80 to 120 ounces of water, doing reading every day, being outside every day, holding tear daily, and getting to bed by 11 p.m. So those are my tending lists and for the month. And then at the end of the month this is where I will do my review. But that's how I've got the second quarter of the year set up. And hopefully everything goes well. And I am getting back on the road to recovery and, not feeling sick and fatigued and worn out 24/7. The month of March, that was enough. Yesterday, I felt better than I did the day before. So I feel like, I mean, for the month of April, after my shot, it kind of has just gotten incrementally better. And so I am hoping that trend continues and that I don't do too much to make myself backslide. So we will see, but that's what I got so far. Here's hoping that the second quarter works out a lot better than the first quarter. Let me know down below if you have made any changes to your second quarter versus your first quarter. And are you more hopeful for your second quarter, or are you kind of just going with the status quo? I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.